Issue number 940 of Detective Comics just recently came out. If you're a fan of Tim Drake, also known as Red Robin, I feel like this is an essential comic book for everyone to read. Most of the superhero titles in DC Comics have the Rebirth story taking place, which right now everything is happening more in the background, but eventually sometime down the line it's going to be taking the foreground and it's going to be the main story. And for the most part, most fans, including myself, have been really happy and impressed with how DC has changed everything up. Detective Comics has been my favorite out of these titles, more so because I'm a bit biased. This has Tim Drake in it. Tim Drake is my boy. He's my favorite superhero of all time. The current storyline in Detective Comics has had Cassandra Cain, also known as Batwoman. Her father has been head of a secret military organization that has been basing all of their tactics on Batman and the other vigilantes in Gotham. And on issue number 939, it left off on a huge cliffhanger. Tim Drake had reprogrammed a bunch of drones that were targeted a bunch of civilians, but instead to target himself so he can take them all out. Major spoilers, so if you have not read this issue, I recommend reading it before you watch the rest of this video, and I'm just warning you. Tim is able to take out the first wave of drones, but the second wave looks like it's about to kill him, but wait, lo and behold, he is teleported away. Of course, only the reader is aware of this because we don't see that until the last couple of pages. Batman and all of his people feel as though Tim is dead. His captor is Mr. Oz, who may or may not be Ozymandias from The Watchmen. So in the meantime, Batman and his people are mourning a fake death, although I feel as though Batman should be able to figure out that Tim Drake isn't really dead. Before the New 52 took place, Batman also supposedly died, but Red Robin was the only one who didn't give up hope, thinking that he was still alive, which he was still alive. But I figure if Red Robin could figure that out, I know that Batman can figure out that Tim Drake isn't dead now. I really hope that he's not going to be relegated to just being a background character, and he's not going to be mentioned, and he's going to be put into limbo for a long period of time. The writer for this is James Tynion, and from what I've seen, he says he's also one of the biggest Tim Drake fans out there, and that he's also his favorite character. So I can't see him writing Tim Drake as just being someone who's being captured in a cell for the next couple of years while he's writing Detective Comics. So I'm definitely holding out hope that he's going to be making other appearances, or maybe there's going to be some other storyline involving him. There are a lot of theories happening online about what's happening in the background and what's going to be happening with Tim Drake and possibly some other superheroes that are going to be kidnapped and also put into these cells. We already know that Mr. Oz has collected Doomsday, possibly even Lois Lane's Superwoman from the new Superwoman series as well. At the very end in the last panel, we see Tim Drake locked up in a cell with two other cells right next to him. One of the big questions is who are in these other cells, or who will be in these other cells? Some people think it's other versions of Tim Drake, or maybe other timeline versions of Tim Drake. If you read the last issue of Batman Beyond, the adult Tim Drake mysteriously disappeared at the end of the issue. I read another theory online that some people out there think this may be Bart and Connor's cell, also known as Kid Flash and Superboy, which this could be the start of the Young Justice Rebirth, which, oh my god, I would figuratively kill to see that happen. Although I doubt we would be that lucky, but still it is something that I'm keeping my fingers crossed that maybe that could happen. Everything is just speculation at this point. The only people that really know what's going on are the people behind the scenes at DC Comics. Also, Mr. Oz's statements to Tim are very unusual. He's saying that Tim is reconnecting threads that shouldn't be reconnected, and that he's loved and deeply intertwined, and that's why he's being taken off the field. But I'm trying to figure out, what is this reconnection he's talking about? It seems as though he is being reconnected back with Stephanie, spoiler, but maybe there's some other things the reader isn't aware of at this point, but still, it is something that I'm hoping that's going to be readdressed later. So this issue is definitely incredible. The only problem is I'm a bit conflicted. Originally, I started to read Detective Comics in the Rebirth storyline, specifically to read about Tim Drake, because we were promised that he was going to be reconnecting with the Bat family and start to be redone in a way that a lot of fans used to love him. And he may or may not be a part of the title anymore, and he may just be mourned in the background, which if that's the case, I may not be into it anymore. I'm going to continue on to this next storyline, The Monster Men, because they've been really promoting it a lot. But I'm really hoping that James Tynion wasn't forced to put Tim Drake into limbo so that all the other characters could be focused on while Tim is gone. So those are my thoughts on this title. What did you think? Did you read it? What did you think about the direction they're taking with it? Do you feel as though this is the right way to go about it? Or do you feel like they went off on a complete tangent? Leave comments down below and let me know. So that's it for now. Be sure to give a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll join you guys for another video very soon. Peace, love, namaste, and I'll see you guys later. Peace. All of the Young Justice superheroes all seem to be in limbo at this point. Tim Drake was like the last one. I'm really hoping that all of these guys can come back. I think that a Young Justice Rebirth is something that's sorely missed in the DC universe right now.